guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I am super excited you're here. This is Creativity and Inspiration, and I'm Lisa. How's everybody's day going? I hope it's amazing. I filmed this video and then I deleted it. I'm refilming it. It just was not the quality you guys deserve. So I hope this one, I hope you love it. If you do, please show that by hitting the thumbs up. Also, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and let's grow. All right? Woo! Sorry. Too much caffeine today, probably, as you can see. And it's not sponsored. I just have a bad habit of drinking Cokes in the morning. So our video today, like I said, is about using simple ideas, simple art doodles to decorate a journal. It's just going to use doodles to create some amazing pages. And I wanted to show you the different ways you could do it and the different ways that you might want to decorate them. And today for that, I'm using some markers and some watercolor pencils. Of course, I'll link these down below, but that's all there is. That's it. That and a journal I have here to doodle in. And I'm going to show you some ways I would doodle to decorate the pages of this journal. Now, this journal is a little different. This is one that I use for fitness, so there's nothing in it. It's a blank journal, but I thought this would be a good one to give you ideas in. So come in closer and let's start doodling. All right, I'm trying a new angle here. So we're going to have to see how this does and how much in the way I get. So first, what is doodling? It's just sitting here and drawing little simple shapes. Nothing fancy, nothing that you need to know how to draw for, okay? And all I'm going to use is my pen, my watercolor pencils, and my markers, like I said before. And how can you use doodles in your journal? Well, you can doodle around the page. You could use a watercolor pencil and doodle lightly in the center, because you know how we take our stamps and we stamp in the middle of our pages to add interest to them, to add some movement. Well, you can also do that with a doodle. You don't have to have stamps and an ink. And I think that's where we will start today on this white page. I'm going to doodle a flower in the center. And I'll talk about a flower in the center. And this is a really simple flower. I'll walk you through it. And then I'm going to go show you some other doodles that you can do and that you could use on journaling cards, tags. You could use on pages. You could use, actually, you could make your own pillows. You could do these on canvas. You could do these on cotton fabric, whatever you want to do them on. There's really 101 uses. But the big thing about doodles is it's shapes that people recognize pretty much all over the world. Think about this. When you're a small child, everybody pretty much learns circles, squares, triangles, and rectangles, because those are kind of the building blocks of our world, right? So if you keep that in mind and keep your doodles simple, then they're going to speak to a whole large audience. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to take my very unsharp brown watercolor pencil, and I'm just going to doodle a flower. And I'm going to do it kind of medium size because I do want it to kind of have an impact on my page. So first, I'm just kind of doing like a little layered circle, which means I'm creating multiple circles, kind of a doodle circle, okay? And that's what it looks like up close. Now, for the petals, I have a very simple formula for doodling petals on flowers. I make a parentheses one way, and then I make the other parentheses the other way. And on my flower, I start by doing it on each side. So I do a north, west, south, and east. And then once I get that basic shape down, I'll come back and fill in where there is no petals, but there should be. And if you want to turn your paper, go ahead. If it makes it, and all my petals are parentheses, open and closed parentheses. Then I could color that in if I wanted to. I could leave it like that if I wanted to. Whatever floats your boat. Now, I won't be able to write through this, but I would still maybe color it in really lightly. Just maybe so it pops a little bit more. And of course, I'm coloring in long ways on the petals, and I colored circles in the center just to make it more cohesive. But this is a doodle. It's a big doodle, but it's a great way if you don't have a stamp you want and you want to create an image in the center of your page and you don't want to go out and buy a stamp because stamps are expensive, then doodle something. Okay. Now, other doodles that you can do with a pen. And what are some very simple doodles? Well, okay, we did a flower. What about a sun? And you put little. And what else goes? We can do a sun, we can do a star, we can do a moon. I'm just doing stuff like in the night sky here. Simple doodles that you can do that you might see at night. See how easy that is? Now over here I have a flower. Maybe I want to do like doodle in a watering can. And maybe I'll do in another flower, a different flower. And you don't have to be a good drawer. You can be any kind of artist. But you could do up the whole side here, and it would make a really cool border. You could do it on journaling cards. You could do it on tags, anything you want to, okay? You don't have to do images, though. You could do shapes. Okay, on this page, let's do a vine, but let's do it with our markers. Okay, I'm going to pull a green, a pink, because I have to have pink, and I'm going to use the black marker to outline and add interest. So first, let's doodle a vine. And a vine is just a curvy line, like that. Now let's add in some flowers, and for our flowers, we're going to do the open and closed parentheses, and I'm going to color those in. Not flowers, leaves, I'm sorry. Leaves are open, close parentheses too, and I'm just doing, and I'm coloring them in. Okay, and then do some flowers. You can do little round flowers, you can do whatever shape flower you want. I'm going to do like a little, now, so what do I do with the marker? Well, that's my doodle. You saw how simple that was, right? I'm going to come in with my marker and go around my leaves and kind of on opposite sides of my vine here. Go around one of my flowers maybe to give it some more shape. And they don't have to fit the form exactly. You can make it however. Okay, but you see how that brought it to life. Now I'm going to come in with my pen and add a little more detail. I'm going to add the lines in my leaves, some interest in that flower, and then I'm going to add some more detail to my vine here. And there, boom, the plain doodle came to life by just adding a little extra. So do your doodle and then go in and add a little extra to it. So that's another way you can do a doodle. You can also doodle numbers and letters. Or shapes. I'm going to do, now let's do a pocket. How would you do a pocket or something like that? Well, of course, you would get another piece of paper. I'm going to use this index card. I'm going to turn it over. And on this, I'm going to doodle some numbers. And I'm going to use that. So let me get my gold marker. And I'm just going to do some what I call bubble numbers. Now, instead of using the markers to color them in, what we're going to do is we're going to use some of our watercolor pencils. I'm going to use yellow, kind of make it a monochromatic look. And you don't color, you color outside the lines, okay? And by coloring outside, it just gives it kind of that artistic, cool look. Now, you're welcome to color in the lines if you want, up to you. And then this could be your pocket. So that's another way to doodle images. You could also do images this way. Let's see, what other images could we doodle? You can doodle squares, because think of this. Like I said, the first shapes you learn are triangles, squares, circles, rectangles. I think these are rectangles, but that's okay. Now, once you get them done, add detail to them, okay? Do something like that. That makes really cool doodles. Could also do shapes, again, that you could also do other shapes like waves. You could do the curly cues. These all make interesting pages, interesting journal cards, whatever you want to use them for. And lastly, when you doodle, you can also color them. You can do smiley faces. You can do hearts. I'm making mine a little bigger. You can make yours as small or as little as you want. You can do little cars. But doodles add a sense to your work. They're simple, but they have such big impact. We're going to leave it. It's not perfect, but here's a tag. Okay, so how could you decorate it? Well, let's say you want to do it with, your journal is about butterflies, okay? So just do some butterflies. You can draw them, and then you can come in with your watercolor, with your map colors, pencils, whatever you have. I just happen to have Crayola ones. And you could color your doodle. And it has big impact too. Also, when you make your journal, if you know you're going to use doodles in it, you might want to put in a black paper in it, or a red, or a mixture, because black paper with white doodles looks absolutely gorgeous. And you add some color to your doodles and they look absolutely amazing. Just remember, when you use shapes that people are familiar with, you're bringing a sense of comfort, a sense of, oh, that belongs in their life. They, it makes them feel good. Things they recognize. Another one that's really fun to do before we go is a sun. And what I would do with the sun is I would start in the center and kind of circle it around, make it like lace almost. And then some rays off. Remember to make rays squiggly. Then I would I'd come in with my marker to kind of bring it to life of the same color. And then also add in some highlight to it. And you can do this with your pen or with your marker. And look how that made that pop. If you want to make it fun and kind of funky and do something different, you can always put a pair of sunglasses on your sun and just write around it, because sometimes you don't always have to write on the whole page. And put some sunshades. Again, mine are a little bigger than normal doodles, but I wanted to make sure you could see everything. Just to give you some simple ideas of how doodling can make a big impact without costing a lot, without breaking your wallet. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video about simple doodles and big impacts in your journals. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that little bell. We'll be back later in the week with a video about collaging masterboards or ribbons, what to do with all the ribbon and trim you have laying around and don't know what to do with it. Leave me a comment down below, ribbon or masterboard, which one you would rather see. And this will be going out on Thursday. Take care. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.